Alrighty, good evening ladies and gentlemen, this is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Daily Masters. My voice is really pretty much had it, man, so I'm trying. I still want to cast big long games, I still want to cast exciting games, but I'm just going to talk quietly. So I'm not really going to project my voice, I'm not really going to shout a lot, I'm not really going to get really excited. I'm just going to, talk nice and a little bit slower, not slower but lower, a little bit more casually, a little bit more, I'm not going to project my voice like I usually do, like talk excitedly about stuff. Just going to talk in a normal sort of voice, and I might watch it after, see how the volume controls go, but yeah, as you can, my voice is messed up. So anyway, moving on, let's introduce the players. So down at the bottom right side of the map is going to be hyvaa. He is 22 years of age from South Korea, and I'm not actually sure what team he is in. He doesn't seem to be in a team at the moment. He was in the Seoul team till the end of 2013, and I suppose that's the team he was in when he was playing this game. And yes, that must have been that. And his opponent, Rain, of course, Rain is up the top left side of the map. He's 21 years of age from South Korea. Plays for the SK Telecom T1 team, which is pretty awesome. I think he's still playing for that team. I'll double check. Yes, he is. He's been in that team for, I don't know the date formats, but it's either 3.5 years or 4 years. So quite exciting there. Probe is going to get chased the hell out of there, so not a good position for the probe to be in, but the Lings are going to run in there and get chased away by the cannons. So not a very good offense, too much for hyvaa there, but at least he got the probe out of there and he can safely get a very early third base without having to worry too much about Rain sneaking out there and trying to get another early scout off. So good stuff there from Mr. hyvaa. Now we haven't got too much happening. We've got an early forge, which is basically just going to be for the forge fast expand. No cannon rushing or anything like that, just a very straightforward forge fast expand and a probe blocking it off until he gets a zealot out, which is taking a little bit longer because he did get the cyber core out straight after the gateway, so that's going to mean faster stalkers for him. He's got, actually, I think this is going to result in a Stargate of some kind. I think he's going for a fast Stargate. You can see the gas really built up with the fast two guys, so definitely a Stargate coming down. Maybe some oracles, maybe some fast Phoenix for some harassment. It's always a possibility against Zerg to see Muta play. I'm not sure what Rain's preference really is, but he's getting 2 gas down. This is his first 2 gas, so it doesn't really seem like he's going for mutas at the moment, at least not by what he's building at the moment. My guess would be something like I don't know, mass roach harass or something like that, just starting to get in the gas. Maybe he'll build another 2 sometime soon, and yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what sort of stuff happens there. So pretty good stuff. We do have a single Phoenix coming out, and this is going to be pretty amazing. I mean, Oracle could potentially do a lot more damage early on, but they're a little bit dodgier later on, whereas the Phoenix, if you keep them alive while harassing, they're definitely very useful at the end of the game, especially if mutas are out. But even if mutas aren't out, you can use them to wipe out overseers and overlords and constantly attacking the supply of your opponent. Very nasty stuff. Does look like hyvaa is going for roaches. He has been putting out a ton of workers so far, although Rain at the same time has been constantly putting them out with the forge fast expand. He got an expansion nice and quickly, so he's had no problems getting out workers at all. And hyvaa is definitely going to take the lead at some point. There we go, 50 over 46, and hopefully he keeps pushing that out. But for now, just going for roaches. He's got his 3rd and 4th gas out, no gas on the 3rd base, so I definitely think it's going to be Roach Hydra or some sort of tech going on. His creep spread is not that. What the hell have we got here? Phoenix 1, Phoenix 2, and Phoenix 3. That is multitasking like you would not believe. Hopefully he doesn't have them all going towards the same spot, but just going for a bit of a scout, man. I can't believe he made that move and then just ended up meeting up in the middle anyway, man. It was such a perfect play, but they ended up just meeting up anyway. So I could have been attacking 3 overlords at the same time. Really, at this point, I mean, with so many spore crawlers all over the place, there's 2 on this base, 1 on this base. They could probably snipe a queen. Oh, the queen runs out of position. Not good. This phoenix is in range, but this phoenix isn't holding up the queen, so it can back away. And there he goes, does back away. But he should have moved that 1 phoenix out a little bit earlier. I feel like that took a bit of unnecessary damage. Could have run a bit back, but anyway, he's going to keep on trying to do some damage. Bunch of lings over here. But this is fairly solid. I feel like there is a gap over here if he takes advantage of it, but... Oh, killing some workers with the spore crawler is going to do some damage if he micros it correctly. Could finish off that already damaged Phoenix. Did not micro it correctly though, was not concentrating on that guy, so ended up with 2 Phoenix at low health instead of 1 dead one, which is a bit unfortunate, but lings going around. Looks like they may go for this gap, and the gap is going to be open. They might be able to get a full scout off for the main base. No, force fields going down for Rain. Excellent play, and the lings are just going to be running around all over the place, not really doing a lot, so he's forced to send his overseer in here to get a full scout off. He's not going to see too much that he hasn't already guessed. The Stargate is there, and that's beautiful. The robotics bay, I don't know if he has seen that. It looks like he has seen that being built from the other side, so he knows all the tech that's going on, and I'd be very surprised not to see a Corruptor coming out very soon from hyvaa. He is actually going for the Locust tech, so now you know why this video was so damn long, because here we go, it's going to be Swarm Host. So we have to look at what Rain's options really are, and I think Mass Colossus is one of the best options he has. You get 5 or 6 Colossus, and they basically can hold off any amount of locusts. I say any amount of locusts, you could get like 30 locusts or something, and that would potentially be able to overwhelm any sort of resistance. But once you get 6 or 7 Colossus, get them around a choke point, it pretty much holds off everything. So that is going to be it. Nice Overseer going to go in there, but the Observer goes in there, and I shouldn't laugh because laughing actually hurts my throat. So oh man, this game. How many Colossus do we have? 1 with the second one coming out. Bunch of Void Rays as well. I don't know what the Void Rays are really going to be good for. They might be good for sniping the Swarm Host if he gets around, but if there are going to be a ton of Hydras in addition to the Swarm Host, then definitely attacking those at the side is going to be a very tricky proposition for Rain. He's currently pushing out a lot of Void Rays though. He really wants to get the Void Ray numbers up. 3 at a time is a sizable investment, and I can't really see anything which would make him really want to send them out. I mean, fair enough, Void Rays are actually... They're kind of good against the Hydras. I mean, the Void Ray damage is just pretty awesome, and they're just so bulky, so their actual health, the sheer amount of health on them, does give quite a lot of options for Rain to use them, and he may just be going for like a Protoss Death Ball or something like that, which is very useful in mass 4v4 games, but not so much in just normal games, just 1v1 games. Nice, the Phoenix still out on the field, still getting a very good amount of kills. This one's got 3, and the other one does have 3 as well, so definitely equal on that number. And are we actually going to be going for a 4th base here? I feel like it. He cannot possibly be moving out for an attack with this army. The buffer zone in front of the Colossus is just too flimsy. And here we go, the first Locust going out. hyvaa is just going to be ranging them to start off with, and also getting some free scouting off with the Locust, trying to ping off some army. He's going to reveal his Locusts, but yeah, they were going to be revealed at some point anyway. So Rain, there he goes, he sees them, he starts attacking them, he realizes, oh man, Locusts, and we're almost certainly going to be seeing a lot more Colossus coming out in the very near future. Here he goes, popping his Colossus on the high ground. This would be an excellent vantage point to really just start knocking at those Locusts about, because of course you need high ground vision to actually hit back at the Colossus, and the range of the Locust I don't think is very much, so if the Colossus stood back here, they could hit the Locust very easily, and the Locust would never be able to get in range. Of course, all it would take would be a simple attack from hyvaa to set the rally point up there, and then the Colossus would have to fall back He's trying to defend here, doing a fair job, but I think that was the end of the path for the Locust anyway, so it was not the sheer amount of Colossus which really stopped him. It was just the fact that they were dead out of time, but they're not out of time here. Really doing a fantastic job on the damage, and I mean, Void Rays, they are good versus so many things, but Swarm Hosts, the Locust is not one of them. Definitely the Swarm Hosts, they can do quite a good job, but Locust not so much. So for now, range is going to be backing off and backing out to the maximum range. But what he is going to do when the Swarm Hosts finally lift up and move forward, I cannot say I know, because he's thinking about getting Archons. Archons are a good on paper. I would say they're good on paper versus Locust. They got AoE splash damage, and you think, alright, they're really beefy AoE splash damage, they'd be great versus Locust. In theory, they sound good. In practical terms, they get owned in like 3 seconds flat. The Locust DPS just completely overwhelms them, so it's... And they don't have a huge range, they can't outrange the Locust, and they're basically a buffer unit, and buffer units do not last very long at all. We do have a very nice amount of Zealot incursions going around here. He realizes he can't move his army out, just a normal army, just move out there, so he's going to be going around. He's going to be trying to do some damage. He manages to snipe an Infestor there, very good job. Manages to snipe a couple of other things, workers going down, quite good. And the Void Ray army is quite huge, but he needs to get an angle on the Locust, and the Locust right now, they're going up the wrong way, so Hiver, there he goes, redirecting them towards the army. They've got a ton of time on them. The Colossus is starting to be enough to defend against the Locust, but he still needs about 2 more, I would say, to effectively defend against this many Swarm Hosts. It's not a massive amount of Swarm Hosts, but it's still very, very decent, so a couple more Colossus would not be a bad idea. And trying to defend, you can see the Archons really taking a beating right here. One of them almost dead, and just so much damage. And look at this from Hiver, sending out Changelings at the same time as the Locust, and very, very smart here. I don't think he's managed to get any to actually stick in the army unnoticed, but he's trying, and it's an excellent tactic. There we go, one Colossus taking a lot of health damage. Ling's actually running past, taking a big advantage over the fact that this army is so slow, and a nice fungal going down, trapping these guys from running away. That is going to do a lot more damage. One Archon, 2 Archons go down, the rest of them are going to be running away. The Lings have gotten through into the main base. They could take out a lot of stuff here. The Zealots warping in might be able to clean them up, but the Lings have had a lot of time to actually start hitting them. So it could still be bad. They could take out something big like a robotics facility, the robotics bay even. That could be quite devastating, but the main army does get back in time. The remainder going in here, more Zealots warping in. They might be able to kill some workers, but I don't think they're going to be able to finish off these Zealots. There's just too many, doing too much damage right here. So far, Hiver has been quite good, but I mean, Swarm Hosts are quite good at defending. As far as attacking, they can be gotten around, they can be flanked. It's a little bit dicey to work with them, and they do nothing for your base defense in general terms, because they only defend a single approach for your base, and you can try and set the rally point to different directions and kind of take advantage of seeing your opponent coming in from one direction or another. But for the most part, warp-ins at the back of your base, you are severely limited in how you can deal with those if you interact with a lot of Swarm Hosts, because even if your Swarm Hosts are relatively close to your base, it takes so long for the Locust to get back there, and rooting, it takes so long. So a bunch of DTs just being warped into your base, you need a mobile force to deal with those. And Hiver does have a mobile force of sorts, but the creep spread over here, not all that good. And we can see another Warp Prism coming in here. You can see another Warp Prism coming in there. This one actually getting by, trying to land over there. Manages to get a fungal on it, very nice, but I don't know how long it's going to be before he actually takes that out. A bunch of Corruptors coming in, very, very nice. The main force coming in, but this is the area of the Locust, and I'm really not sure if he's going to do a good job here. The fungal growth on here not very good. He doesn't have a lot of AoE. Hyvaa doesn't anyway. He's got to wait for his Corruptors to come over so he can start doing a ton of damage here. But he does have enough Infestors to put down a fair amount of Fungals. And Rain does back out, taking only shield damage for the most part. A ton of Zealots coming in here. Corruptors running back to reinforce, but that's not going to help too much. He does have a very, very large amount of static defense over here. He's been spending so much on gas units. He's got so many minerals left over. And the Zealots trying to take out an Infestor. Nearly get one, but Fungals are going to finish them off. And really his ground defense as far as Hyvaa is concerned is quite terrible, to be honest. I mean, he's got the Locust, but as far as ground over here, he's relying on spine crawlers and fungal growth, and that's basically it. That's all he's got to really kill Zealots with, and that is never a good position to be in. So I mean, Rain is really taking advantage of that, really warping in a bunch of units up the backside, doing a lot of damage. The Locust coming in, but the Zealots can just run away, try and wait them out, and then they're going to be waited out in just a second. There we go, and the Zealots are fine. So once you adjust to dealing with the Locust, to dealing with the Swarm Host, then it looks like these guys were manually targeted on these Zealots to attack, and once the Zealots went out of vision range, the Locust no longer moved around. Look at this, he's actually moving out. Great job there. The Colossus, there are 5 Colossus, 4 Colossus, one or the other, and trying to have a go here. The High Templars are in there, hoping to get some feedback on the Infestors maybe, or maybe just wanting to storm the crap out of absolutely everything. The Fungals are still absolutely awesome from Hyvaa, doing a great job trapping units, sucking their health down. And when he does get lucky, the Locusts get to finish off some of the units. But for now, no, the Fungals are keeping these forces from really taking these forces out. A couple of very nice feedbacks are taking a lot of the Infestors down. I think I saw 2 of them die to feedbacks right there, but Hyvaa is using so many Fungals that the Infestors are fairly low on energy for the most part. And here we go, a bunch of Ultras coming out, but with so many Void Rays on the field, I feel like the Ultras are not going to be that good. A couple of nice Storms on the Corruptors. The Void Rays have to be careful because Fungals will continue to hit them to do a ton of damage, but I think as long as he can keep his Void Rays alive for the most part, he should be able to survive the Corruptors. Void Rays, of course, with their overcharge ability, are so much better than Corruptors when it comes to DPS. Warp Prism going down, sent another bunch of stuff here. I'm not really sure what he's going for. He needs to focus on tech structures like the Ultralisk Cavern, like all this other stuff. And also, I suppose Rain is possibly going to have the advantage when it comes to bases. And the reason I say that is because Hyvaa is mining so much faster. He's 66 over 60, but I assume he had more workers than that previously. And yeah, so he's been mining out his bases so much faster than Rain has, and Rain is going to start to run out of bases pretty soon. He's, what, 4 bases? This is almost mined out, this is almost mined out, whereas for Rain, he's got, he was almost mined this one out, but this one is pretty much still full, so he's got another base full of minerals that Hyvaa really doesn't have, and that means that Rain, all he has to do is focus on these bases, on this base over here, on this base over there, these bases that Hyvaa is trying to get. All Rain needs to do is keep these shut down, because Hyvaa has been harvesting too much, too many minerals, too many gas. He's going to run out of his original 4 bases far sooner than Rain is, and that means that Rain is going to outlast him, because Hyvaa is just going to run out of stuff. And with his gas heavy army, he's going to run out of gas, I guess. The minerals maybe, but he's got a huge stockpile of minerals. But yeah, I mean, if we have a look at the units lost, it's actually okay. The fact that he's using Locust so much means he's doing a lot of damage without losing units. Usually, if you see somebody mining out so much and yet still with approximately the same army, that means they've lost a ton more resources. But it's not the case with Hyvaa. He's actually kept a lot of his minerals, kept a lot of his sources alive, simply because he is using the Locust so much. And here we go, the Ultras coming in. This base is going to go down, I believe, although the forces are right behind them. The Void Rays going in, and man, if he doesn't take this down, if this base stays alive, then I have to say this was a massive waste of 4 Ultralisks. I mean, Ultras are very powerful in a huge army situation. I mean, getting in there, defending the Locust from, defending the Swarm Host from a ground attack, quite phenomenal the Ultras would be, and Hiver basically threw them away for little to no gain there, and I'm not sure I agree with that tactic. The Infestors going around trying to have something happen. The Tempest out on the field. This is a really nice go from Rain. Very nice choice of unit, because really a lot of his problems have been that he can't get in range. The Void Rays are so powerful, but they're constantly getting fungled by the Infestors. They can never get in there and do what they need to. And the Tempest, as we saw, they really did a lot of damage to the Infestors. You don't need a lot of damage to take out an Infestor. It's only got 90 health. It's basically the bonus of the Infestors is they can fungal and run, and it's very hard to actually chase them to get a hold of them. So the Tempest is going to be quite phenomenal at sniping these guys. They can also snipe the Spore Crawlers, they can snipe the Swarm Host, they can snipe everything as long as there is enough of them. And here we go. I can't believe we are seeing it. I haven't seen this pretty much in any game so far, but there was a Mothership. Not a Mothership core, a Mothership right here. Let's go over to the and check it out. Now this guy has a bunch of abilities. We've got the good old cloaking field, which is going to be awesome, but not too useful with overseers all over the place. Time warp, that's pretty much the same as a Mothership core, I believe. It may slow him down even more, but I'm not sure. I think 50% is normal. Mass recall, I don't know. I guess the Mothership is not really that much better than the Mothership core, other than the cloaking. It does do quite a bit of damage, of course, but it has to get close in range, and I do not know. I'm not sure if the Mothership is actually going to be all that good. If you can catch him without overseers, then he might be able to do a lot of damage, but Hiver does have 6 overseers on the field, so I really feel like this cloaking is not going to be all that helpful. I suppose the main thing that can be said for this Mothership is it's going to soak up a lot of damage. It is going to be basically just everything will have to go for it. It's the upside and the downside of the Mothership. Everything goes for it straight away, and it can actually tank a lot of damage and give the other units a chance to actually have a go. Here we go, the Ultras, they have a decent chance to take down this base, but the Void Rays are just about to get in range. Take out 2 Ultras, the 3rd one goes down, the base is barely saved, and definitely Hiver will be making this Nexus a priority to take it down, but he only has a limited time window, because of course the shields will regen, and shields make up the half of the total, more than half in fact, because they do have an extra armor on here. So it is going to be awesome. We do have 3 Oracles coming out. I don't know what they're for. Maybe Worker Harvest harassing, maybe something else. A lot of storms are going down. Not really doing too much to the Locust, but the air army of Rain is so huge that I don't know if he's really worried about Locust or Swarm Host anymore, because his air could potentially finish off the entire battle for him. The only thing is the Colossus and the High Templar, which are still open to Locust attacks, but there's so many storms going down which are shredding these guys. Mothership core doing a great job, but the Void Rays are taking so much damage from this field of Spore Crawlers. And here comes the fleet of Corruptors, a beautiful amount of storms going down on them, but there's just so many. The Mothership core goes down, but the Tempests are still in there, doing a ton of damage. The Void Rays trying as well, but they are looking so shotted, and constant fungals going down from Hiver have really teared this army down quite a bit. The Tempests are so bulky, even more so than the Void Rays, and they're going to be able to siege out here for a very long time. The Corruptor numbers have been shelled down quite a bit, only 10 left, and I mean there's so many Tempests right now that Hiver really needs more than 10 Corruptors, but unfortunately Corruptors are the only thing which can really do a lot of good job against the Tempest. I mean, maybe Hydras, maybe, I don't, against this many Tempests I still don't think so. There's just too many of them. With level 3 upgrades, I feel like nothing can stop these guys at the moment. unless a full fleet of Corruptors, but I don't think he's got a possibility to get a full fleet of Corruptors. And here we go, he's completely mined out. This is the only base that he's mining from. 36 over 24. He is not in a good position, as we predicted. He has run out of minerals. Meanwhile, Rain just about to get his own 5th, and his 4th is still fully mining. Well, it would be fully mining if he had more workers on there, but see, he's still fully mining on his 4th. And meanwhile, hyvaa, his 4th, is completely mined out all over the place. Actually, some minerals still on his main. I don't know why he hasn't mined those yet, but regardless, great job. The oracles, I'm still not sure why he bought those, but yeah, why not? Rain is in a very, very good position, and hyvaa is struggling right now, really, really struggling, and all it's going to take is this base to go down, and I think hyvaa will have to tap out. But Rain choosing not to go around, he's choosing just to send in some miscellaneous units to try and take it out. Taking it out on the cheap, sending some zealots in. hyvaa knows he has to save this base. They're actually sending his Corruptors across. I really am not sure why, because the Corruptors have no possibility for taking anything out here, but the fact that they're not here means the Tempest can start to move forward. The huge wall of spoilers has finally gone down, and the Tempest, for some reason, they are backing away from the Locusts. I'm not sure why, but they're going to continue to do a slow push in, maybe moving backward to defend. There's just a bunch of links there though, so I don't feel like it's worth pulling the Tempest back to really defend against these guys. But he's still doing a pretty good job. The links are going to go down, everything else is going to go down, and yeah, I feel like it's just a matter of time here. I think hyvaa is living on borrowed time and living off this one base, and it's going to be so simple for Rain to take out this base. He's already had a few goes at it, and in the next few minutes my estimation would be he's going to say screw it, let's just put everything on this base, take it out once and for all, and that is going to be the end of hyvaa. But hyvaa is trying to buy himself time. He's sending constant Ling aggression into Rain's base, constantly pulling his forces back and trying to make sure that Rain doesn't have a good opportunity to really just be free to go after that base. And he's taking care of it with zealots though, so I don't really think the Tempests are necessary, but it is taking a lot of Rain's concentration to deal with those Ling harassments, and that is definitely slowing down his momentum as far as the Tempest force is concerned. So here we go, zealots constantly getting knocked out, constantly getting knocked back, and we do have a bunch of Hydra starting to come out. He's pushed up his Corruptor army somewhat, up to 17. Still nowhere near a match for all these Tempests, they just got too much health. Zealots finally managed to shove away all these guys, going for the hatchery. They may be able to take it. The Hydras are taking them down. Oh, Neural Parasite on the Zealots, man. That was a very, very smart move there by hyvaa to Neural Parasite them to stop them from attacking, but unfortunately it didn't quite work, and now I think hyvaa is going to be pretty screwed because he can barely afford to actually rebuild a hatchery right there, and the Zealots, more Zealots coming in, taking out the links with the Hydras are going to wipe them out, and he's long distance mining from all the way over there. It's an horrible, horrible, horrible position to be in. And meanwhile, Rain just keeps building up his forces, getting another base over there. Ling's coming across, but a bunch of Zealots just get walked in to take them out. And the cannon is going to be helping as well. I feel like at this point, just, I don't know, block this base off, man. Really. And Rain leaving that gap open, a little bit silly at this point. He really should be doing something about it. But a bunch of Corruptors come out, get stormed really, really fast, and the Tempests are going to finish them off. And I don't know, I don't think Rain even cares too much about this anymore. Getting some Zealots out to defend them, but I think in this case it's just a foregone conclusion. All he needs to do is wipe out these 6 remaining Swarm hosts, and that'll finish the game off. So it's going to be a matter of minutes before that happens. The Tempests are going to come in, and here we go. I think this is why he built the Oracles, just to put this ability on the Spore Crawlers on every other unit, just so we can see exactly what's happening, which is pretty good idea. So here we go, the Spore Crawler is going down, the Void Ray is going nuts, storms all over the Swarm host just because he can, and everything is going to start to go down here. How many do we actually have left for hyvaa? 5 corruptors, and the swarm host is just about to die. There they go. He's still got a bunch of infestors, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Lings have actually destroyed quite a fair number of buildings in Rain's base, but I really don't think it matters at this point. Rain has taken the game out, and an excellent job. A really, really excellent job as far as Rain is concerned. So, yeah, I'm going to post this video, and tomorrow I may adjust the sound settings if my voice still isn't that good, and I may just do another cast like this, because I think it turned out pretty well. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this game. Stay tuned tomorrow for another one. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.